So you want a dog, but you live in an apartment, and honestly, you don't have the energy for a hyperactive mess that's gonna destroy your walls and drive your neighbors insane. Yeah, I get it. The thing is, most people think you gotta live on a farm to own a dog. Complete myth. There are actually some incredible breeds that are basically made for apartment living, and I'm gonna show you the ones that won't have you stressed out in 3 months. Let's go. Before we jump into the breeds, here's what nobody tells you. It's not just about finding a small dog. Small dogs can be absolute nightmares in apartments. I'm talking constant barking, anxiety issues, destructive behavior. The real key is finding breeds with low energy, minimal shedding, and dogs that are cool just hanging out. Those are the game changers. The breeds I'm about to show you, they're literally designed for this lifestyle. Some of them were bred in cities in Europe. Others are just naturally chill. And honestly, once you know what to look for, this gets way easier. French Bulldogs. Let's start with one that's everywhere right now, the French Bulldog. And I get why. These guys are compact, they've got personality that's actually insane for their size. And here's the thing that matters for apartments. They don't need crazy exercise. Like a 20-minute walk and they're done. They're happy to just chill on your couch. The catch? Vet bills can get rough because of breathing issues. They overheat easily, and they snore, like legitimately loud. If you're a light sleeper, this might be an issue. But if you can handle that, you've got a dog that's genuinely happy in 600 square feet. That's the appeal. Boston Terriers. Boston Terriers are basically the French Bulldog's cooler cousin. Same compact size, but they've got way fewer health issues. These dogs are actually smart too, like they learn commands fast, and they're social without being annoying about it. Here's what makes them perfect for apartments though. They're quiet. Not completely silent, but they're not barking at every noise. They've got moderate energy, so a decent walk or some playtime keeps them satisfied. And they don't shed much. That's huge if you don't want your apartment covered in hair. Real talk though, they can have separation anxiety if you leave them alone for like 8 hours every day. So if you're always out, this might not be your breed. Now, if you want a dog that's actually just genuinely sweet, like there's no edge to it, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is it. These dogs are soft, they're affectionate, and they don't have that yappy energy that some small dogs have. They need moderate exercise, so a decent daily walk is important, but they're totally cool with apartment living. The thing that's interesting about this breed is they're incredibly adaptable. Whatever vibe your apartment has, they'll match it. The downside, they do shed, noticeably. So if you're someone who hates finding hair everywhere, this might require more grooming than you want to deal with. But if you can handle that, you've got a genuinely loving companion. Pug. Pugs are basically the apartment dog. They were literally bred to sit in the laps of Chinese royalty. That's their job. That's what they want to do. Exercise requirement? Minimal, like seriously. A short walk, some indoor playtime, and they're content. They're quiet, they don't need constant stimulation, and they're happy in small spaces. But, and this is important, they have the same breeding issues as Frenchies. Hot weather is rough. Vet care can get expensive. And again, they snore. But if you accept those things, you've basically got the perfect apartment dog. Shih Tzu. Shih Tzus are interesting because they're bred specifically for apartment living, and they're actually pretty independent. They don't need tons of exercise. Moderate activity is fine. They're calm, they're not excessively barky, and they're genuinely good with apartment neighbors. The thing about Shih Tzus is grooming. Their coat needs regular maintenance. If you're not willing to brush them or take them to a groomer, this gets messy fast. But if you're cool with that commitment, they're solid dogs for apartments. They're also great if you want a dog that has its own personality but won't demand constant attention. Italian Greyhounds are this one sneaky good for apartments because people sleep on them. Italian Greyhounds are tiny, they got minimal exercise needs, and they're genuinely charming dogs. They're sensitive and affectionate without being annoying about it. Here's the real benefit though. They barely shed, like almost nothing. If you're in an apartment where cleanliness matters, that's huge. They're also quiet, adaptable, and they don't need much space. The trade-off, they can be fragile, and they need someone who understands their temperament. They're not like super robust dogs. They need some gentleness. So if you've got kids or a chaotic environment, this might not work. But if you want a calm, low-maintenance apartment dog, this is it. Okay, so here's what I want you to take from this. It's not just about the breed, it's about understanding what actually works for apartment living. Low exercise needs, non-aggressive temperament, quiet or at least not constantly barking, and honestly, someone who can handle grooming or shedding depending on the breed. The biggest mistake people make is getting a high-energy breed thinking they'll exercise it enough. You won't. Life gets busy, the dog gets bored, everyone's miserable. Pick a breed that's actually designed to be cool with your lifestyle. So which one of these is actually right for you? That depends on your situation. If you travel a lot or work long hours, maybe none of them are perfect. But if you're home a decent amount or you can handle hiring someone to check on them, any of these will genuinely thrive in an apartment. The thing nobody talks about is that the best apartment dog is the one that matches your personality. If you're chill, get a chill dog. If you're active, get one that can handle that. The breeds I just showed you all have different vibes, so figure out which one actually fits your life. And honestly, before you get any dog, spend time around them. Go to a breeder or a shelter, interact with them, see if the energy matches. Because picking a dog based on how cute they look is how people end up with dogs they don't actually want. Last thing, adopt if you can. Shelters have tons of mixed breeds that are absolutely perfect for apartments, and you're literally saving a life. But if you're looking for a specific breed, at least go to a reputable breeder who actually cares about the dogs. That's it.
Here's something real, though, that nobody wants to hear. Getting a dog for an apartment is actually a commitment. And I'm not talking about the basic stuff like feeding it and taking it to the vet. I'm talking about the actual responsibility of having another living thing depend on you completely. See, people get caught up in the cute factor. They see a French Bulldog and they think, oh, that'll be perfect for my vibe. But then 6 months in, the reality hits. Dogs need consistency. They need routine. They need you to actually be present, not just physically there. An apartment can be a great place for a dog, but only if you're genuinely ready to show up for them every single day. And here's where it gets real. If you're not genuinely ready for that, don't get a dog. Just don't. Because a dog in an apartment with someone who doesn't actually care becomes a problem fast. It becomes anxious, destructive, lonely, and then you're just stuck with an animal you resent. But if you are ready, if you actually understand that this is a decade-plus commitment and you cool with that, then honestly, any of these breeds will change your life in ways you don't expect. They become part of your routine, your stability, your reason to come home. That sounds cheesy, but it's true. So before you pick a breed, before you start researching, ask yourself one question. Am I doing this because I actually want to care for something, or am I doing this because I think it'll make my life look better? Because dogs can tell the difference. They know. If the answer is the first one, we good. Pick one of these breeds and go for it. If it's the second one, save yourself and them the trouble and don't. That's the real talk.